You sure you want everything?
I want everything.
Now you get a new low price, up to $30 in rebate offers, and a free pack.
Is that everything?
It's not everything. You can get nearly 300 different cartridges.
300?
That's nothing.
It's something.
But it's not everything. Soon there'll be a voice module, trackball, remote control joysticks, and a computer keyboard.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, but it's not everything.
It's not everything.
Soon there'll be educational games, too.
Is that everything?
That's everything. For now.
For now?
The Atari 2600.
Now get up to $30 in rebate offers, plus a free Pac-Man.
World are you doing anyway? Caleb here, welcoming you to another gaming episode of Gaming for the Ages, the show that let's plays you through the history of video games in order of release, with the occasional exception of when we need to further tell the story of the franchise in question. So here we are. We are at September 27th, year of our Lord 2024, and not a lot of notable holidays today, but there are some notable video game releases on this day, December 27th, including, there's one major, Shadow Hearts Covenant turns 20 today, Dead Rising 2 was released on this day 14 years ago, for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which goes in the category of I can't believe those systems are that old, and they still seem current. The Echo in Shadow of the Colossus collection, released on this day 13 years ago. Ys, Memories of Collecta, was released on this day 12 years ago in Japan. I just noticed that was a Japan release. Lego Dimensions was released on this day 9 years ago, as FIFA 17 was released on this day 8 years ago. And, oh yeah, Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports was released on this day 0 years ago. So that is your video game release in history, pretty much, for the most part. Now for more of what we're going to do today. We're still going to play through games from 1983 and Today we're going to start getting through not just games released in 1983, but we're going to finish off with I would say most, not all, but most of the games that was released in February of 1983. Games we know was released in the month of February. The others were either released in January, or we just don't know when in 1983 they were released, or didn't properly get the release day when doing my initial research. So, because we've had a few of those where, like, I run into the release day, I didn't see it when I was compiling this project. So, I'll say half of these are Midway, and half of these are Atari / Activision, with one being Sega. Yes, we have a SEGA game. Super Locomotive is the game, and we're hoping that things are a little good with that. So, something I forgot to do is check the book. I want to see. First game is Sequest. And this was a game that was from Activision, and it was developed by Steve Cartwright. And he described it as a rescaled Defender. See if there's something about Sequest in here. Sorry for not doing this prior. I got the points where it will show up. There is one. Okay, so the first time in a long time, we are spending some time in Adventure, the Atari 2600 at the Dawn of Console Gaming, the book by Jamie Landino. Obviously, we're not reading the entire book in this stream, but it is worth mentioning this because it is such a good read. So, here's what Jamie has to say about Sequest. Sequest puts you in charge of a rescue submarine. You must pick up divers that have successfully buried treasure at the bottom of the ocean, bring them to safety while dodging killer sharks, and competing submarines before you run out of oxygen. If you've never seen the TV commercial for the game, seek it on YouTube. Oh man, I forgot to seek that out for Monday's stream. It's on me, guys. Neptune, well-known god of the sea, lectures you on how the game works and taunts you with the tiny cries of help from the divers. They sure don't make the commercial like that anymore. The playfield in Sequest is similar to that of Chopper Command, except this one takes place underwater. There's gray and sky above the waterlines on wavy sandy ground at the bottom, and a wide blue playfield in the middle that you maneuver the submarine round in. The killer sharks swim in groups and bob up and down as they swim across the screen. Enemy subs are smaller than yours and shoot missiles at you. You control your submarine with a joystick. There's no momentum in this one, so moving the sub in any of the 8 directions is immediate. The button fires torpedoes, and you can hold it down for a continuous fire. The sub moves quickly with the joystick, so that getting acclimated to the game is learning how to move the sub without colliding the sharks and other subs, and then learning how to pick up divers without doing the same. Divers appear as blue figures. They blend the background a bit, but they're easy enough to make out. Your job is to collect 6 at a time and then rise to the surface and move on to the next wave. As you pick up divers, they appear at the bottom of the screen beneath your oxygen gauge. Periodically, if you're running out of oxygen and you still have 6 divers on board, you can briefly return to the surface and replenish your oxygen supply. You're alarmed when you're running low. From that point, you have 8 seconds to maneuver around whatever is in the way and get to the surface. Beginning with the 3rd round, a patrolling sub near the ocean surface can take you out, so you need to refill your sub's oxygen supply while steering clear of the ship as well. While you're filling up, you can't move, so you need to plan this more and more as the game progresses. As with most 2600 games, Sequest gets harder and harder as you go. The patrol sub moves faster, more sharks appear, and the enemy submarines shoot more often. To this day, many people call out Sequest as one of their favorite 2600 games. It's another polished title from Activision. This one programmed by Steve Cartwright with zero flicker and smooth animation. It also continued Activision's all but stayed out loud mission to create shooters and all the kinds of games that just don't take place in space. At the time of writing, it was number 3 in Atari Mania's all-time list. So for a game with that high remarks, it has to be good. So let's take a look. Use as many treasure items as it can while dodging and blasting enemy subs and killer sharks, all before your oxygen runs out. Okay. I could get out of there. But no, what happened? And that's game. So 59 is my first score. I figured, well, it's not touching my front, so I'm probably good. If I had them. Man, that was dumb. That was by far a worse game. I'm regressing, folks. I'm regressing. getting so close, I figured I might as well wait in case someone shows up, but no. Doesn't help when like I thought I got him before. That's my best game so far. 68-90. Man, I did not see that fish coming. How did I not escape that? 1890. Sounds more like a year than a score. Lucky. Not a great score if we're going on to move level 2. Okay, now we're looking good. Lost him. I had a hard time getting out of that one. Okay, 31-30 is my score. Okay, got 5.5 minutes left in this game. Let's see if we can do that. That's game. Just rammed into that, just trying to save the guy. Okay, 53-10, is that like what, my second best one? So we have time for one more game. broke. I'm like, I want to do it all in one fell swoop. Careless. I don't know what happened there in the second one. Well, I did say we had time for one more game. That was it. So we're gonna call it. That was game number 134. Now we're gonna have a few games that's gonna take. Yeah, we're gonna end up speeding through these next few. I have a feeling. So, Splat is next, which is a arcade game from Midway. We are going to take a, you know what, we got time. We got time today. Let's do 5. Let's do 5 minutes. Do a 5-minute timeout, and then we'll, resume. Hey folks, apparently unfortunately with the apartments, Jim just getting sense with the apartment, the carbon monoxide alarms going off. That is the equivalent of fire alarms. That means I will have to evacuate. So the stream is going to have to be on hold until I can get things worked out. Yep, that's the thing is. I had to figure out what's going on first. Never heard that chirp before, so I'm like, okay, what's going on? Yeah, that's what's going on. I have to evacuate. So we're gonna put this on delay, and I'll come back when the coast is clear, if the coast is indeed clear. Okay. So explain what happened. Oh, I just realized I pressed the wrong button. Let's see if we can get that to be fixed. There we go. So, what happened back there was not an actual leak. It was basically the alarm saying that its time has expired. So that's what happened. But since it was beeping, it needed immediate attention. So, not great timing, obviously, but it is what it is. Now we can finally get to our second game of the day, which if Splat. A cabinet is cocktail cabinets, front side view of the cabinet, the controls in the cabinet, and the console. Information. Shows the main inspiration bands back. And those Porkies without using Porkies. Friends and nerds.
The inspiration for Splat had a lot to do with John Belushi's big scene in Animal House. It was a good time, it was a lot of fun, and I thought just a food fight would make a really good game.
Looking at the controller, but I'm using this. I don't see it very well. The more I feel this, the more it feels like it's almost like a Super Nintendo controller, but morphed to the GameCube. But let's see if there's any. Notes. right. All right, that was don't know what happened there. That was flat. I was trying to get to the back to the title screen, and then it accidentally started a new game. Like, I didn't want to do that. We don't have time for that. We need to move on. Let's see what's next. That was game number 135. We're on to game number 136. We're going to take another 5 minutes, and hopefully it's just 5 minutes this time. You know, another delay like we just had. So stand by. Alright. I don't think a lot of you expected this to show up on today's episode, but here we are. I have dusted out, for the first time this broadcast, the Genesis Mini Model 2. Outside the Mini 1. So. And we're going to go through the majority of these games. So all these games you're seeing, we're going to get through at some point. During the broadcast, so I don't know if you can pause and take a look, or if you're watching the replay, take a good look at this. Okay, and if guy goes into. This is a game program designed by Fukuma Mizuga. And what am I talking about specifically? It is indeed Super Locomotive. The objective of the game is to guide the train along one station next. Along the route, the player must avoid obstacles such as the trains, planes, red signals, trains crossing intersections. Guide the train across multiple routes by changing tracks and route. Players armed with steam fire bullets to destroying airborne targets and a temporary force field. Protect the train for a limited period of time. So, there's a little more, but I think you get the gist of it. So let's play. Hold off just in case. We have a... No, I'm not sure there is an attract mode. Interesting. Okay. Now there's an attract mode. There you go. Supposed to press a button? How was I supposed to avoid that? Okay. So that was an interesting one, because you really have to multitask with that one. You have to know where you see where you're going, but then defend yourself at the same time. But because of, I don't know, that's, well, anyway, that's Super Locomotive. Technically, I believe this was only released in Japan initially. I don't think this was available all that much in USA. If you find in the USA, it's rare. But not this Sega Genesis port, which is on the Mini. Okay, we're back to Midway. We're going to go back and forth between Midway and, I guess this is the one exception. The rest of the games are either Atari or Activision. So, and the Activision games are on the Atari 2600. So that's kind of where we are today. We're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. 5-minute timeout. Okay. Here we go. Another Midway game. This is game number 137, Wacko. Oh, I just remembered something. Oh boy. Ew. Okay. So here we go. Wacko and Cosmic Cruiser share the same main character. So this is a sequel. In Wacko, you must play as a little alien in a flying saucer that must eliminate the monsters. The principal design behind this game is to match up monster in order to eradicate them. As the game progresses, it gets increasingly more difficult. One round shot can mismatch the enemies, making it even more complicated to destroy them. This is a quick and easy to pick up game. If anything was wacko about this game, it was the actual arcade cabinet. The control panel on our keyboard were actually slanted. Okay. Huh? That quick, apparently. Okay. You got time for another game? One thing that's hurting me is the depth. Okay, I'll admit my second playthrough was better. Now we've reached what maybe end up the final hour of our stream. Only 3 games to go. And we're going to start out with Enduro on the 2600. And for that, we're going to need, ladies and gentlemen, another 5-minute timeout. Alright, the game is Enduro, and Jamie has some tidbits in his book about this Activision title. Enduro takes Atari's pole position coin-op as a sprint starting point and turns into a marathon, otherwise known as endurance racing. Unlike other racing games of the period, Enduro features a 24-hour day and night cycle with shifting colors to reflect the time of day, afternoon, sunset, nightfall, so on. During the day, you run into a blizzard with snow and ice, which turns the ground white, reduces visibility, adds the roar of the wind, and reduces the volume of your engine and the sound of other cars whooshing by to compensate. Your car is also more difficult to steer on the ice. At night, you can only see the red tail lights of the cars, and a patch of fog further reduces your visibility to roughly one half the screen. Controlling the car is simple. You steer by pushing the stick left or right, brake by pulling back. The red button is the accelerator pedal, and accelerate the car automatically shifts gears. There's no indicator for what gear you're in or even a speedometer. You gauge your speed entirely by how fast the other cars are whizzing by. Let go of the accelerator and you just coast at that speed. The primary goal of the game is to pass the target number of cars required in each day. The first day you must pass 200 cars. When you do so, you hear a victory tone and read out changes to green flags. On other days, you must pass 300 cars in each go-around, and the other cars get increasingly dense and faster. Your second goal is to accumulate as many miles possible on the odometer, which scrolls super smoothly in the analog-style readout, which was common on cars back then. The day-night cycle also acts as a timer. If you don't pass enough cars by the start of the next day, the game ends. The day number you're on and your odometer together determine the score you've achieved. Back when the game came out, if you made it to 5 days, you could photograph the trophy that appears on the screen and send it away for an Activision Roadbusters patch. Programmer Larry Miller offered some tips in the manual, such as keeping your speed just fast enough to pass the required number of cars rather than shooting for maximum speed at all times, and slowing down to let an impeccable cluster of cars disappear off screen ahead of you so they can get a new pattern of cars when you accelerate again. Enduro is one of the three main first-person racing games available in 2600, the other two being Pole Position and the older Knight Rider. And speaking of other games, it's tough to miss the similarities between Enduro and Activision's later game for the Atari 8-bit computers, the Great American Cross Country Road Race. You would think Miller also programmed the latter game, but he did not. The Great American Cross Country Road Race took Enduro as an inspiration and added a campaign mode across the US, police chases, and improved graphics and sound. So, Enduro. Let's play. Whoa. Not gonna lie, that little animation is pretty cool. Now we see what fog looks like. Some of these weather changes do seem to be abrupt. I kind of wish there's a way they can... And this, it might not be something the 2600 is capable of, but... Okay, so my final score for the first game was 91 miles. You only passed 132 cars. Need to pass 200, so that was a fail. Let's try again. Oh, not a good start. Oh, man. Try to get by him on the end. But the room was not there. Try to find the needle there. Thinking I think I can thread the needle, and I'm not able to. Once again. Thread the needle, thread the needle. But not a good song to get out day one. And that was what I was trying to do. Thread the needle that time. Of course, right when I crash is when the fog comes in. Didn't see that coming. It's fog. Bad timing for fog. Oh man. Man. That was worse. I actually did worse my first time. That's not a good sign. I think I can do better. Of course that happens to start out with. Break. I think I did right. Man, fucking get by on the other side. That side. Got cut off. Oh, I did it again. Man, that's a mean vehicle. Always cut off. Indecision on that one, trying to get around. Of course that happens. On the line, I chose the very line there. That hurts me too. Wow. In a game you're supposed to pass the cars, you kind of think, oh, what if I just crash into them instead? That'll be better. I think that's a PR, but barely. I don't think that's much. I mean, 125 cars, that is a PR. .7 miles is not a PR. So, I was about to, I'll do one more game then, like in 3 minutes. I think it's a 4-minute game, so I don't think we're gonna have enough time to do one more game. But ladies and gentlemen, that was in fact Enduro game number 138. And I just realized I put 20 minutes, not 27. Whoops. Into this. Oh well. I think we would be okay with doing less time. But yes, yeah, this just in. The Chicago White Sox has essentially become this year's, the 2024 Chicago White Sox, the worst baseball team potentially in history. They have broken the all-time team losses record with 121 losses this year, and there's still like 2 games to go right back in the regular season with Sunday being the last day of the season. So for those of you who are taking notes, this broadcast is being done on September 27th. And at this moment in time, history was made. We have had the worst Major League Baseball team to ever play the game. There's been some bad teams, but this is the worst. So, if you're a White Sox fan, you can pat yourselves on the back and you can say you have a record to be proud of. That record is the worst team in history. So, we're going to take a 5-minute timeout and prepare next game. They have a sense that we're going back and forth between the Minis and the GameCube. Atari 2600 Mini, GameCube. Genesis Mini 2, GameCube. Atari 2600 Mini, GameCube. And the final game is Atari 2600. Star. Alright. SingStar wasn't designed to garner a rabid cult following, things just sort of happened that way. The Williams video game development team continually worked towards one goal: design the most creative and entertaining games in the arcade. Then, like now, the game industry was moving so quickly that even if they achieved their goal, no one expected anyone to remember a game 18 months after release. 13 years later, hardly a day goes by on the internet, news groups, wherever someone doesn't post an inquiry about SingStar. Whether it's uploading "run, cowards" sound files or asking for maintenance and programming information, SingStar is still alive and well in the minds of classic game enthusiasts everywhere. SingStar being remembered so fondly is remarkable for two reasons. One, it's a very game hard to play, and two, it came later and shipped considerably less units than other Williams classic games. The game was a complex, labor-intensive creation that went through many incarnations with many contributors. Most of the people that worked on it aren't the types who log on to the internet's rec.games.video.arcade.collecting news groups every day. So when someone tells them people they still enjoy SingStar, they are pleasantly surprised. In the very beginning, the game was referred to as Sam's game after initial programmer Sam Dicker. One day, Williams' video team left their Chicago offices to meet for an off-site brainstorming session to come up with a new game. John Newcomer was given the task of sifting through all the ideas and writing a story of game specs. He came up with a 7-page treatment for a game called Juggernaut. Emphasis of the gameplay is to have a player control an extremely smooth moving ship, to experience a variety of fast, exciting, pursued chase sequences, and to quickly analyze combat priorities of whether to battle the enemy which poses an immediate threat, or battle the enemy which poses the greatest future threat. So read the wide courage dot matrix printout. The treatment also described the cast, which includes workers, escorts, miners, and tridextrium crystals, and the fearsome Juggernaut. At a time, Williams was attracting a unique strain of employee. People too weird for the computer industry and too smart to try to make as living artists were going to video games. Jack Hager graduated with a degree in painting from the Art Institute of Chicago when he had came to the company. Hager said the work atmosphere was intoxicating. First real job, and I'm in this building with a bunch of college guys who aren't wearing shoes and are sleeping in their bags in their offices, Sager says. We all went and saw movies in the afternoon, and this was a real job. R.J. McKell swept into Williams one day with long hair, a Doctor Who type scarf, and no semblance of the pocket protector image that typified much of the industry. Also a painter, when he decided to look for work in video games, McCall went straight to Williams because he felt they were head and shoulders above all other game manufacturers. He kept hassling them until he got a job. Jack Hager and R.J. McCall joined James Dicker, Richard Witt, and Noah Falstein as the core group working on the game. The name has been changed to Dark Star. A few marquees with the Dark Star logo printed up, but it hasn't been the final title. Chronic punster Noah Falstein came up with the name Sinistar, which everyone liked immediately. The game's character was taking shape. Edgar felt the sole purpose was to make really beautiful images with simple graphics. He did a full color oil painting with the Sinistar head and reduced it to pixels. One of the things I am most proud of is that I actually made a grayscale with my palette, it is here. Sinistar actually looked three-dimensional, whereas other games prior to that were flat. The game needed to sound as good as it looked. Voice synthesis had hardly been tried previously in the arcades, and Sinistar was to speak several sentences that would strike fear to the heart of the player. Could have done that with more accurate voice synthesis, but elected to go with the eerie low-quality sound with more sentences instead. The obvious joke was that when Sinistar says "Run, coward," it actually sounded like Ron Howard, which is where the game received its code name Opie Star. Mikhail asserts that Sinistar was one of the most sophisticated programming jobs ever done. Sam Dicker had created a whole mini multitasking operating system built into the core program. The basic Williams hardware system with Motorola's 6809 chips, which Mikhail says is one of his favorites, had to be augmented to accommodate the massive image manipulation necessary to animate the Sinistar. Some of these complex technical problems were while invisible to the arcade player, is what made the game a classic. Unfortunately, the game that made it to the arcades was not the one programming crew thought was the best. When the game was first tested, arcade operators complained that players were taking 3 minutes to die instead of 2. They want players to die quicker. We said no, says Mikhail, but our bosses said you don't get to say no, you have to say yes. They were forced to alter what they thought was a perfect equivalent of gameplay to make the game much more difficult. In the process, some animation like the Sinistar explosion didn't get a chance to get changed since it didn't look as good. The whole crew booted their own ROM sets of the superior version of the game to keep. Mikhail vows that one day he'll dig out and make his Sinistar perfect again. The game has a couple of hidden program surprises. A special control sequence followed by inserting 3/4 will cause a special screen. When you look on the program's names to appear. Good luck finding out how to get it. A bug exists that either makes you die twice or gives you hundreds of free ships, though it's hard to exploit. Mikhail didn't find out about this bug until years later when a kid in the arcade showed him how to rack up several hundred free ships using it. That's one thing you can depend on. No matter how crazy or how hidden, kids always find out everything a program can do. For millions, Mikhail went on to co-found Amiga Computers, design the Atari Link system, and create hardware for the 3DO, a company he is now vice president of. I have done a lot of things in my career, but Sinistar is one of the things I'm most proud. I live, screams Sinistar, and he really does, in the home consoles and the original arcade machines of proud classic game nuts everywhere.
That quality that I saw back then, it still stands out. A lot of times these days with a lot of the games, the newer games that we see come out in the arcades, they're interesting, but they're either they're beautiful games to look at, but the gameplay is real lousy. It's not an enjoyable experience. Or they've got some interesting gameplay things going there, but they don't pay attention to graphically what really makes a game look good and can help bring the player into the experience more. You don't see a whole lot of attention being paid to all of the parts of the game all at the same time, as they used to in the old days when the discipline seemed to have been different. And so it's really easy for me to believe that there's this classic bring the old stuff back again kind of sentiment out there. The thing that's unfortunate about it is that the fellow who was in charge of that decision-making process, Noah Falstein, decided he was nervous that we'd get in a lot of trouble, too much trouble, for putting an Easter egg in. So he buried the thing so deep down that I can't even remember this complex series of things that you have to do to get it to show up. Guaranteed no one ever find it. The bug was a real cool one. When you play the game, as the Sinistar kills you and starts to kill you, you don't die right away. You sort of like circle over the Sinistar's mouth, and then he chomps you, and then you're destroyed. It turns out that while you're in that configuration where you're spinning around in the mouth but not quite dead yet, and one of the warrior guys can come in and shoot you right then and kill you right then. And then the Sinistar kills you and you die twice, which it's really rare. It's extremely rare that it would happen, because most of the time the warriors, I believe in fact the warriors will not kill you when the Sinistar has you in its death grip already. But if one of their previous shots is still floating around in space, as they sometimes do, one of those can kill you. I think that's the way it works. And the really interesting, that was a bug, and that was a drag, because of course every once in a while consumers would lose 2 lives instead of just 1, which they really hated. The kids, those kids, found out that if you only had 1 life left, and you got into that death grip where it was about to destroy you, and then the warrior shot came and killed you, the warrior shot would reduce your lives to 0, and then the Sinistar would kill you, which would reduce your number of lives left to -1. And in the computer world, -1 is also a really big number. And all of a sudden, you'd have 255 lives left. And Lord knows how the kids would find these things, but I knew kids that could show me this in an arcade. They go up and say, look at this, and all of a sudden they have 255 lives, and man, you can play for a long time on Sinistar. You've got 255 ships left, boy.
Okay, so that's the gist of it. By the way, I've had a lot of people say hi during the entire time I've been talking about Sinistar and giving you the complex. So, Sergeant Wiki and G Gaming 23, please understand I'm not ignoring you. That was just it just ended up being not a great time in trying to explain the game that's about to be played. But hope you all are doing okay. Let's get things set up. Let's play. Let's give a little bit of sense of how to play. I didn't see that. Lovely.
Beware, I live. Run, run, run. Beware, I live. Beware, I live.
Nah. It does fly gravitational pull.
Beware, I live. I hunger. I am Sinistar.
Do one more game.
Beware, I live. Beware, coward. Run, run, run. Beware, I live. I am Sinistar. Beware, I live. I hunger. Beware, I live.
And they said it's a hard game. They were not joking. And we're not going to have the time. To do another game. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Sinistar. Game number 139, and we only have one game left. And that is... yeah, it's going to be on Atari. Give us 5 minutes. And I will return with that game. the final game of the night, you guys get to see me suffer again. Sword Quest Fire World. This is a game that was released in February 1983 to continue the Sword Quest games, 4 of them. Granted, the 4th one wasn't released until 2022 with the Atari 50th anniversary celebration. Because the second, 3rd one didn't quite do so well. I'm trying to figure out if I'm in the right one or not. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to play because, you know, the first one confused me so much. And now I'm to try to figure out how to play this. Wait a minute, what? I want a solid... Okay, this is actually more confusing than the last game. Okay, so, like, how it works, if you leave a room, it doesn't necessarily mean that you go to that same room if you head back. It is not straightforward. And that's the... My mind is already, like, hurting. Just trying to read how you're supposed to play this game. minute, what? Okay. I also want to faint trying to figure out how this works. I'm going to do something possibly unprecedented. Maybe not. I'm going to take another 5. The clock will continue to run. I'm going to try how to at least get a start in this thing. I'm not one to give up that easily, but man, the fact that, like, how it works out, that, like, you start in a room and you go into another room, but you go back doesn't necessarily mean you go back in the same room. It gets so confusing over what you're supposed to do and then how to get each thing. Okay. I think I know what to do now with the limited time we have left. Don't know what happened there. Start. Getting it a test right off the bat. How was I supposed to get stay out of that? Oh man, I couldn't. So fast, and like, how are you supposed to get through that fast? Part doesn't. I feel like. I mean, granted, it would have been a hassle to go from joystick to paddle back to joystick, but it wish he had maybe something that would do both, kind of like what the, what, isn't the Atari Game Station has something like that now? Which is really neat. So many of these, like, how am I supposed to stay out of that? I don't think of rhyme or reason. It just seems random. Too soon. I'm already pretty confident I'm bad at this game. Might be the first I ever got. Give me that roll more. There's a lot more of these you saw in the attract mode, but I can't even get past this. Can't get past it. Yeah, that's time. Yeah, I don't feel like the Sword Quest games are for me. I'm just so bad at them. I don't know. I really do not know how to get better at these if you want me to be perfectly honest. Here we are. What is going on? There you go. I think I pressed the wrong one. Like, wait a minute. There's supposed to be music. Alright. So, since we had a short stream last Monday, we have 2 streams on tomorrow. Big one is the first one. Nothing but CVS. CVS. That is our first stream, and the second stream we are going to be, that'll be at 11 a.m. So we are opposite college football, particularly Kansas State against Oklahoma State. That'll be a little bummer. This is the first half of that game, just before this. But hey, not a bad way of doing it. We have Black Attack, Food Fight, Caperstone Capers, and Nappy. Those are the 4 games, so yeah, we have 2 of Namco arcade games tomorrow. GTtA is the first stream, Nappy is the second stream, that's how we're going to call it. And remember, next week, only the Monday stream. We are not streaming Monday and Saturday. I probably will still have my college football watch party. So in the meantime, I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Take care, God bless, and I'll catch you on the flip side as we are 860 games away from Sonic Adventure 2.